Hi, this is Queens of the Paddock, an F1 podcast. I'm Alex.
And I'm Courtney.
And we're back again today. We're going to be talking about Alpine today.
Fourth on the grid last year.
Fourth last year.
So we took our first slice of the meat last week.
Yeah.
Now we're getting into a solid bite.
Yeah. Now we're past the appetizers. We're getting... Is this main course?
Main course. I think we're in main course. Because remember we started this and we said McLaren was like the first slice.
Right, you're right.
Meat. It was like the outside where it's good, but you're not like... You haven't gotten into the juice yet.
To the juicy piece. But now it's going to be real juicy too.
Exactly.
So we're excited. We're excited to talk about it. Yeah. But okay, so Alpine. Do we have any other news? We don't have any news.
No news. Except for Alex has gotten way better at editing things. She was showing me our last episode and some of the fact check things that she's included, and I think it's fabulous.
I'm just really trying to up the quality.
Yeah.
I'm trying to up the quality. I'm trying to make it top notch. Because it should be. Us. Yeah.
Like us. It is. Exactly. I was saying, no, I don't think any news.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. Let's get into it.
Okay. So, Alpine has this crazy history of I was so confused, and I actually found a really good graphic that I'll include with the Instagram post.
I feel like this graphic is going to be like a spider web where it's
it literally is like a map. It's a flow chart because they have changed names. They have gone through, done things, changed
major sponsorships.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
wait, more than Aston Martin?
I don't know. I feel like both of those teams, like Aston Martin
and Alpine,
and there's another one that's changed a lot. I can't remember right now.
Yeah, I feel like those are the two biggest ones that come to mind.
Yeah, it's confusing, and then when you start to do this research, I'm like, okay, wait, hold on, like who's what?
Yeah,
what are we doing?
You almost have to search it 7 different ways,
right? Yeah.
Okay. But great flowchart coming.
Yes, so there will be a flowchart graphic for everyone's viewing pleasure, so that you can follow along with this madness. Yeah. And I'm gonna have to literally read some of this because I can't keep it straight. But so they are formerly known as Renault.
Okay.
And it's still Renault.
Yeah, but the parts are still Renault.
Right. And so Renault, the company, wanted to advertise their Alpine car, model car.
Sports car.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
And so they made that decision to change from Renault to Alpine.
And the colors. They were black and yellow,
right?
Remember, and I kind of like that. But now the blues,
but it's super French.
Yeah, very.
The
French.
blue,
I will say it's very,
and the red and the white. It's super French classic. Because it's a French company.
And now we have a full French team.
Yes,
which I don't even know the last time that happened. When was the last time you had the company was based out of the same place that all of your drivers?
Look at Mercedes though, because it's British.
Yeah, but Mercedes...
Well, actually, no, I'm lying to you. The headquarters are in the UK for the F1 team.
But
it's actually... It's German.
Yeah,
it's German. Never mind. Ignore me. Forget it.
There's no fact-checking happening here.
No. That was in the moment, no, that was wrong.
So, yeah, I don't know. Well, at least maybe we'll be corrected one day, but... Right now, I don't know of anyone else that's...
Yeah, I can't think of anybody.
It's true French.
Yeah.
Oh,
it is literally like a croissant just drove down.
And the drizzled chocolate on top.
You can't get more French than the Alpine
team.
F1 team right now.
Yeah. Oh, that's exciting.
So, they are actually partly owned by the French government.
I did know that because
I was shocked to learn that.
No, but in Drive to Survive, there was something about that, especially when they went to they had the Grand Prix in France. There was I remember seeing all kind of about that. Yeah, and the people are they call it the People's Team, I think, because it's owned partially by the French government.
By the French government.
So in theory, every French citizen is
a part owner of this team.
Yeah, that's
interesting.
Cool.
It's interesting.
Well, and it's kind of funny because my husband, his family is French. Mm-hmm. So then now...
I didn't know they were French.
Yeah, his uncle.
How did I not know this?
Yeah. Jacques Alban.
What?
in California. Yeah, he's French, and one of the girls was born in France.
Oh my God.
And they all have dual citizenship.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I guess technically my family, like, removed is part owners of Alpine.
Yeah. So there we go.
Weird.
We need to get some merch from the team, like.
Oh yeah, or we need to bring them on. I don't even know if they're into F1.
Maybe. We need to make that phone call and ask.
We do. Okay.
But
not
okay.
A fact check, a follow up.
That's a follow up.
Yeah.
We'll get back to you. But so they rebranded in 2021 as Alpine, and like we said, it to promote their sports car brand. And it's still Renault and it's all that, but they're based in Enstone, England, which is interesting to me because like they're French.
Everybody is.
And like, but it's Enstone is where their factory and like headquarters are.
But I feel like everyone is. Like literally everyone has some type of huge office. I feel like in the UK. I bet you even Ferrari does.
They probably do.
Yeah.
But okay. So they became So let me go through this history because it's confusing. So they started in 1986 as Benetton, and then they won 2 championships with Schumacher during those years. And they were known Benetton until 2001. Okay. Then they became Renault for the first time in 2002, and they won titles in 05 and 06 with Alonso. As Renault. Then Lotus came on board. And in 2011, they became Lotus Renault until 2015. Okay. Then
I like Lotus though.
Yeah, but they had a horrible, like, that time period for them was not good. Like they had a really unsuccessful. Yeah, it was not good. They weren't doing well. So then they went back to Renault. And then now they've rebranded as Alpine.
Their sports car.
Right. So again, there will be a flowchart coming because that was a lot.
It is.
But okay, so and another, like, so you said they were referred to as the people's team, but they also get referred to as the constructors from Enstone or the team from Enstone.
Why?
Because there's so many, like, it's so confusing with their background and like who,
it's just easier to say that.
It's the Enstone team. So sometimes people refer to it as the Enstone team. Yeah. So you'll hear that. But okay, so they finished in 2022 in P4 with 173 points.
Which this was like...
They did a really good job.
But it was at like the end of the season, the last couple races were so good.
And
just because this battle with McLaren.
Right. Yeah, like, McLaren and Alpine, that battle. Yeah.
I mean, didn't it come down to like, I want to say either the last race or the race before, like, to decide who was
going to beat the other one out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like this year too, because like first place was locked up like months ago. And so it was kind of like looking at the battle for second, third, like that kind of mid battle was what was really more like compelling at that point, because like first was already done and signed and sealed and done.
For sure.
But they could have even, like, I'm looking forward to see what they do next year, because this year they had a total of 7 DNFs throughout the whole season.
That's insane. Like, that's a lot.
I know, it's a lot.
And I guess I didn't realize, or I don't remember that many.
I remember, like,
for them being as successful as they were.
So Alonso had, I think, 6 of those.
But were they his fault, or
no? So it was like mechanical issues, or like Lance Stroll ran into me, or like just different things, right? That caused them to not finish the race. And so had they like finished all of those races,
think they would have been contending with Mercedes?
No, I mean, with Mercedes, yeah, I think they could have been a third.
That's not like.
I'm throwing it out there.
That's what I was like.
I don't know, but I kind of am like I'm interested to see what happens next year if they have a good car. Yeah, and they don't have any of those issues.
Here's the thing: Mercedes, though, just like every other team, is going to improve. So the question is, are they going to improve enough to compensate for not only like yes, becoming better, but then also being better with another team that's also going to be better.
Right. So I don't know. We'll see. But I wanted to point out, like, they could have had more points than what they ended up with.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda, though.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. But okay. So, and that's also like part of the reason that Alonso gave for leaving Alpine and going to Aston Martin was the reliability. Yeah, was the reliability issues and like all these problems that he had throughout the season.
Didn't what's his name? Ugh, gosh, you love him. I find him obnoxious.
Who?
Gosh. Why am I like blanking?
Daniel Ricciardo?
Yeah, Ricciardo. I feel like that's why Ricciardo also kind of had like issues with
Renault.
Yeah, because remember he was so frustrated with the reliability of the car.
Of the team. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see if they can get it together and like have a solid run. But I think like the car is there, the drivers, and we'll talk about the drivers, but I think they have a good lineup. I think they could do really well next year. So I'm excited to see what they do.
I'm not saying they won't, but I'm just saying I think it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So they're now going to be known as the BWT Alpine F1 Team.
BWT.
So BWT.
Didn't they used to sponsor Aston Martin?
Yes.
When they were Force India?
Force India, yes. So you'll recognize like the pink color.
They're bringing the pink in?
We'll see. We'll see how it gets.
Ooh.
I'm interested to see too the new car to see like.
I hope they don't ruin the French classic feel.
Of the car. Yeah. I know, and so it'll be interesting. So this is another like side thing I need to investigate some more. But so BWT, it's called it stands for Best Water Technology.
Okay,
and it's like a water treatment company that's like trying to do sustainability stuff and like different things. And so anyway,
which makes sense because the cars have to have like cooling technology.
Right. Yeah. And so they, for the longest time, or for when they entered F1 as like a sponsor, were with Force India, and then it moved on to that Racing Point team.
Yes.
They were still sponsors. Then they
were major sponsors. I mean, the car was like
the car is decked out like it's like fully pink, like their racing suits are fully pink, like
pink and white.
Yeah, it was like a big thing, and super recognizable, like super like noticeable, right? Well, the first year that Aston Martin was Aston Martin, they were still a sponsor
by BWT.
But then
they weren't
Martin, like so I think they kind of like pushed them down a little bit.
Like they weren't the major sponsor.
Right, they weren't the major one, and then obviously like that Aston Martin car has like no pink, like it's super like it's
too
teal, like emerald green, color.
It's too Bond.
It's too classy to have the pink touches. So then actually BWT like left.
Okay.
But then it also, if you look at the dates and you look at like when all of this happened with that sponsorship and like the team kind of changing going on. So Otmar, which we'll talk about, who's the principal for Alpine, but he had been at like Racing Point, Force India, like he was with that side.
So you
and
think
Aston Martin.
He brought BWT into Alpine?
Well, so then you look at the times. So Alpine announced BWT as a sponsor before they announced Otmar as the principal.
Oh.
So I'm like,
you think BWT has more say?
I don't know. That's what I'm questioning. Do they have some kind of a pull as a sponsor?
I'm sure.
Do they have a pull? That's like a question I have.
I bet you every major sponsor probably does.
Has some kind of a say in like who's your personnel, like what are we doing?
Yeah. Especially if they're giving that much money.
Right. So just something I thought was interesting. I was like, hold on a minute, like there's a crossover here. But so BWT signed on as the Alpine title sponsor in 2022. And then their car this year, it didn't have a whole lot of like pink on it.
No.
But
There was, but it was like more of the French feel, right? Of like the white, the blue,
exactly.
Even just barely touches of red. Like there wasn't a lot. It was mostly
more blue and white. Yeah. So, but I did notice when they did their car launch announcement, there was a lot of pink going on in that. So I'm wondering
if BWT is just forcing it in.
Yeah. I don't know. Again, how much say do these sponsors have? It's interesting to me.
No, it is. I know. So when's the launch date for?
I think it was February 15th or something.
Right around Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they had the pink.
Maybe that's why.
Are they before Ferrari or after?
So Ferrari is Valentine's Day.
Yeah, it is Valentine's Day. I remember that.
And I think they're the day after.
Okay.
So we'll see.
To come. We'll post all about our thoughts and feelings.
No, we need to do that once all the cars launch and stuff.
Which is soon.
I mean, they're going to be rolling out. I think the first one is Red Bull and it's February 3rd.
I was about to say, I wanted to say in the next week and a half.
Yeah, it's going to start happening.
I know.
We're so close.
We're a month away from testing.
Close. Yeah, it's crazy. Gosh. I know. Time goes by so fast. I remember when the season ended and I was like, so what am I going to do for 3 months?
The holidays.
And then we started a podcast.
Yeah, exactly. It literally was what are we going to do?
What are we going to do?
And I remember when you came to me, I think we were at dinner.
Yeah.
And you're I have this crazy idea. I kind of want to have a podcast over F1. And I just was absolutely. Totally down for it.
Let's do it.
I remember, and I think our husbands were oh God.
These people are crazy. Oh my God. What are they doing?
And now they're totally.
And now look at this.
Yeah. I mean, we're moving up.
We're
getting comments.
Yeah, people are commenting on our stuff. It warms my heart. Literally.
It does.
I cry a little bit every time. I'm oh my God, someone left a comment, Courtney.
Oh, gosh.
Someone liked the post.
Okay.
But okay, so enough about us.
I know. So moving into our
so let me talk about Otmar.
That's what I'm saying. Moving into our principal.
Okay. We don't know how to say his last name.
I'm not even gonna.
His name is Otmar.
Yeah.
Okay. He's Otmar. And
Mr. Otmar.
Mr. Otmar. So he is Romanian and American. He was born in Romania.
Okay.
To an American father. So I'm assuming he's an army kid or something.
Or maybe it was some 90-day fiance stuff.
I don't know. But he was born in Romania though.
I know.
And his mother's Romanian. And then they moved out of all the places to Detroit. It's
but it's the car capital of the United States, right?
It's just kind of
Detroit.
Yeah.
You just want him to be out of South Florida.
I just give me some spice. Detroit is it's Detroit. Sorry if you're from Detroit. I've never been there. It might be a lovely place. I just don't think if someone called you up and said, "Hey, do you want to go to Detroit?"
I think you probably be
I'd be I'm sorry, I'm busy. I'm sorry, I'm busy that day.
Oh God,
I can't go.
Okay, so he's probably an army brat of some sort.
So that's an assumption I'm making.
I don't even know. Is there a military base in Detroit?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Anyways, so when he was 7, he moved to Detroit. So then he went to college in Detroit. He graduated from the Wayne State University in Detroit and then got his master's from Detroit University.
Okay.
And then he started working at Ford, which makes sense. Because,
total sense.
You said,
it's
car
capital of the United States.
Right. Yes. So big Ford,
That's another thing. I'm surprised Ford hasn't somehow wound up in F1.
I think they were at some point in the past. And then I actually said there was some kind of an article saying something about Ford might re-enter F1.
Well, because remember, what's F1. That movie that came out?
Ford versus Ferrari.
Yes, exactly.
But that's a good question because why did I think it was just some person's name that was Ford?
Oh God, Alex.
It's not. Is it actually the company?
Yeah. Have you seen the movie?
I haven't seen the movie.
Okay, you need to watch this movie.
Oh my God.
It was actually really, really, really good. Especially now that
it's
really
F1.
Good. You need to watch. It's not about F1, but again,
it's a car thing.
Yeah. Note to self: next weekend, You're watching
homework. Yeah. I have homework.
Homework. Ford versus Ferrari.
Ford versus Ferrari. Okay, we're gonna watch it.
It was really good.
But okay, so he started working at Ford, and then he started going to like racing school because he wanted to like learn about that, I guess.
Like and F1 school or like
just like it's okay, so
sports cars or NASCAR.
It just says he attended a racing school.
I wonder if they teach him all about all different types of
different kinds. Yeah. I don't know. But so he then started racing in Formula Ford or Ford. Yeah, Formula Ford, which I don't know what that is, but I'm assuming it's like they race Fords around.
Maybe.
Could be making that up.
Fact check.
Fact check. Coming.
There we go.
Incoming. Insert here. What is Formula Ford?
Yeah. Ford.
Formula Ford is not where they race Fords around. It is actually a entry-level class of single-seater open-wheel formula racing. And it's basically seen as the stepping stone between karting and then moving into formula racing. So a lot of people will go into Formula Ford before they go into Formula Renault, Formula 3, and any of the other seater series. So it is not people racing Fords around. Just wanted to clarify. This has been Editing Alex. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah. Ford. Not Formula 4. Formula Ford.
Yes. So he left Ford in 1998 and then moved to Europe to join the British American racing team. That's obviously no longer around, but so he went to go join them, and he was in F1 at this point. And then he joined Honda in 2001, and he was with them until 2008.
Okay,
and then he took some time off, and he made his own company called Soft Pauer.
Okay.
Which was like, they do like different technology things. And this company that he founded actually is responsible for making the time and positioning app. Like, so when you get on F1 TV, and one of the things you can choose to watch, like instead of watching the actual like camera, like you can watch, and it looks like a track map, and it shows the drivers going around. So his company, Soft Pauer, made that.
What?
Yes.
That's crazy.
I know.
It's like the simplest thing ever.
I know, but so they're responsible for, and it's officially called the official Formula One timing and track positioning application.
That's on F1 TV.
Yes.
Oh. So I wonder, he must get like royalties.
I'm sure. Interesting factoid. So when I started researching this, I'm going to be real honest. I was like, Otmar is going to be super boring. Like, you get like Zach Brown, you're like, he's exciting. He's got this big personality. Like,
he's like
whatever.
A big brand type
person. You talk about Toto and you're like, oh, he's just big personality. Like, so much to say about him.
Outfit.
Yeah. There's but then I was like, okay, Otmar, like, let me dig up something.
Just so that we have something.
So that we have poor Otmar.
I know.
But let me tell you, I walked away from researching Otmar, and I'm like, I think I love him.
So now
I'm an Otmar fan.
Okay.
I think he's a great guy.
He's just not, he doesn't have the vibe that you're used to, but you were pleasantly surprised.
I was pleasantly surprised with some of the stuff he's done in the past. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was really interesting. I was like, I had no idea.
It's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, right. So he took his little break, did his app, whatever, and then that company still exists.
Oh, yeah.
And then he went back to F1 and joined Force India. So he was on that team. So he was the principal for Force India whenever they were Racing Point.
That one
with
guy.
the Indian guy.
Yes.
Who we need to do it. That'll be an episode.
Yeah. And then he also must have dealt with Daddy Stroll.
He did. And so he was there throughout that whole change between all those teams and all that craziness. And then he was on the Aston Martin team, and he was with them for a year whenever they became Aston Martin. And Lawrence, so this is, don't quote me, but I read in a couple articles that like why Otmar left was because Lawrence had taken away his, like, control.
So Daddy Stroll
was
is like, running the show.
You've been the team principal, but I'm Daddy Stroll.
Yeah.
This is my team.
Yeah.
And your time here running the show
is over.
Yeah. But like he essentially like was like, you know, you're still going to be the principal, but like you're not calling the shots.
Well, I was about to say you're just the face.
Yeah, that's like you're going to be here to do the stuff that I
don't want to
deal with, but I am Daddy Stroll.
Okay.
And it's me.
I couldn't work for Daddy Stroll. I feel like
I don't think I could either. And like, honestly, it makes me feel a little bit sad for Lance because I'm like, is he?
Yeah.
Does he really want this?
Or is he just doing it because Daddy's
like, this is what you're doing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We don't know anything. We're just making assumptions.
Speculating.
We're speculating out here. But okay, so because of that, he was like, look, I'm done. I'm not going to do this anymore. And then ends up joining Alpine.
Okay.
After BWT was announced as the title sponsor, which I think is sus. I don't know. There's something there. And then here's another little tip. Let me just add some more to that fire.
I was going to say add
I'm like, no one cares about this conspiracy, probably except for me. But that soft power company that Otmar started
the one
is also sponsored by BWT.
Oh.
There's a relationship there.
Well, I'm sure.
And I'm going to get down to the bottom of it because I thought that was interesting.
Alex is going to uncover any dirty secrets if you have any.
I don't even know. It's probably like the most mundane thing ever, but
or it could be scandalous that deserves $100 million.
I know,
fine.
And maybe I'm going to uncover something, but we'll see. Okay, so I also discovered that Otmar has an Instagram. And
really?
Yes, and he posts on this Instagram, and it is incredible. So it is literally like, imagine your dad starts an Instagram.
Oh, God. Can you imagine Papa Dukes on Instagram? He can barely answer the phone, let alone run an Instagram.
The pictures that get posted, they're like semi-blurry. It looks like there's a fingerprint smudged on the camera lens. And then the captions.
Oh my God. You need to post like one of the...
I will find a good one and I will post it, but they're all good, so it's fine. I'll just get the most recent one.
Oh, that's
and
hilarious.
Post that. But like, I was literally like rolling. I was like, oh, I don't know. I had no idea he had so much to offer. Otmar. Again, I started off and I was like, I'm going to be so bored researching Otmar for him. But you know what? Looks can be deceiving.
Exactly. I was just about to say, you've changed Alex's mind.
Yes.
That doesn't happen very often. So.
I know. So that's Otmar. And honestly, I kind of love him.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know. He's not out there for me. I don't know. We'll see. Now I know this information.
Yeah.
And when we watch Drive to Survive, I think I'm going to look out for him a little bit more.
Pay a little bit. Got to pay a little bit of a closer attention to Otmar.
Yeah. And then we'll see. Maybe I'll love him.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'll just still think.
Be like,
whatever.
It's kind of boring.
There was way better principles. Yeah.
It's fine. But okay, so moving on to the drivers.
Okay.
So we have Esteban Ocon, a.k.a. Estie Bestie.
Where is this coming from?
Okay, so people on the internet call him Estie Bestie.
Why?
I don't know where this nickname originated from.
And you don't know why?
I don't know why.
Estie Bestie.
But he, like, subscribes to the nickname. Because even, like, you know, like, everyone has to have, like, their little Paddock pass. Like,
yes.
Even if you're Max Verstappen, like, you have to have that. It has your picture on it. It says your name on it.
It's like your employee ID, essentially.
Right.
Yeah.
And so there is, like, photos out there that I have seen of Esteban Ocon's Paddock pass, and it says Estie Bestie as the name.
Okay, does it actually say that, or did someone Photoshop it?
I swear.
Are you sure?
I am positive.
We need like 100% proof from him.
He refers to himself
as
Estie Bestie.
Oh my God.
And like the team will post content
with Estie Bestie,
and it'll say Estie. Like, I just find it so hilarious because, like, I don't know where this nickname came from.
You need to find that out.
Okay. We'll fact check and find out where it originated, but
that's weird.
Estie Bestie. So he's 26 years old.
Okay, so he doesn't make me feel so old. Like everybody else.
Yeah.
Like when we were talking about
when they're like, they're 21
Oscar
and they're like 22.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's 26. He's French. Obviously, we talked about that.
Yeah. All French team.
Super French.
That's the key that you need to take away.
Yeah.
All French.
Frenchies.
All Frenchies.
So this will be his 6th year in F1.
Okay.
Okay, so he started off, he did one race for a team called Manor in 2016. Yeah, they're not around anymore. It was like one of the back marker teams. And
kind of like Williams.
Yeah, so like it was like a Williams vibe.
And Latifi
team. Yeah, like just like kind of there.
You know, we haven't talked about Latifi
did we skip
2 episodes?
I think we skipped Latifi last episode.
I feel like I've moved on now.
Oh my god.
I know.
We just forgot about him like that.
Well, because he's gone.
He's gone.
It's like, that's the thing. Like, you have your window.
Yeah.
Then poof.
No, we're done with him.
Yeah.
We're done with him.
Okay.
Sorry. We don't need to speak on it anymore. Okay, real quick. I'm wondering. Okay, we need to do like season predictions.
Okay.
And we need to say, like, we need to nominate like somebody for like who is going to be
the comeback person?
No, who's going to be the Latifi?
Oh, and we could crown them the Latifi of season 2023. Okay, so you 2023 drivers, watch out, because Queens of the Paddock is going to name their Latifi of the season. Oh God. I gotta think in that.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, are we allowed to watch one race and then name our Latifi, or
testing? We can watch testing.
Okay, we'll watch testing.
That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna watch testing,
and then you're gonna get named Latifi of the season.
Yeah, and then we should come up with like superlatives for like different things.
My guess right now would be Yuki.
I kind of feel like I would agree with that.
But Yuki's a little more interesting than Latifi was. So that's the only reason why maybe I'm like, Okay, sorry.
We'll think about that.
We'll think about it.
Okay.
So back to
Estie.
Estie Bestie.
No, we can call him Esteban. It's fine. But okay, so he did one race. Or no, I'm sorry. It was more than one race. He did like half a season.
Okay,
for this team
that's no longer
around, and that was back in 2016. And he basically was called up to like take over this guy's spot. That was, hold on, I think he was Indonesian. Okay, so his name was Rio Haryanto, and he was an Indonesian driver.
Was he a prince?
No, but so. Apparently the team kicked him out because his sponsors like failed to provide their sponsorship money.
That's a fair reason to kick him out.
Yeah, and so halfway through the season they were like, "No, you're out," like whatever, and they brought up Esteban to finish the season out. But I was like, man, that's kind of harsh. So I looked into that a little bit because I thought that was interesting.
Well, but does that mean Esteban has all this money?
No, he doesn't.
So
I know, which is what
that's
why I was like, wait, that doesn't make any sense because I knew that about Esteban already.
I remember. I think we had talked about this a little bit before.
Yeah. So I was like, well, that doesn't check out. Like the sponsorship money that this other guy was not providing, like it's surely not going to be coming from Esteban. But I think that was a veiled excuse of like the guy was not good.
Yeah, and they just wanted,
and they were like. His sponsors didn't pay. It's like, get him out of here. We don't need him here. Anyways. So that was his first like stint, but he wasn't official, like a full season or anything. It was like half the season. And then he started in 2017 with Force India. Okay. Like officially full time. Okay. As an F1 driver. So then he was
Lance on the team at that time?
No. So when it was Force India, it was him and Checo.
Oh.
Yeah, it was him and Checo. And they used to have like I don't know if it was like personally like not a good relationship, but they would have a lot of like track run-ins and stuff and like that's something with Esteban that continues to kind of come up.
Well, I was about to say, didn't he have like
he had the same things with Alonso too?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where like they're like he's been told like you cannot race this person.
Yeah.
Because he has mishaps.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's him or the other person or the combination or whatever, but it's happened.
Still a problem.
Still a problem.
Okay.
But okay, so he was with Force India, then he stayed with that team whenever it became Racing Point.
Yep. Is that when it was Racing Point is when Lance came on then, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was about to say.
So Lance actually like booted Esteban out of F1.
Oh, so, I forgot about that.
Yeah, and it's
funny.
That
was like the first season of Drive to Survive, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yes. So it's funny to me because the two of them are actually like seemingly pretty close friends.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, man, if I'm Esteban, I'm like,
oh no,
I don't want to talk to you. Yeah. You made my life real difficult.
Yeah.
After I worked so hard and did all this stuff. No, I'd be like, no, we're not friends. But so they let bygones be bygones and now they're friends. So that's great.
Are they friends or are they just
they're like I've seen them like hanging out together. I mean, I don't know.
Who knows?
Anyways,
again,
speculative over
on
here.
The track versus off the track, probably very different.
Right. So okay, so he was with them until Lance came in, and then he did not have a spot in 2019. Like, he didn't race for a team.
I remember that, and he wasn't even a backup driver.
Yeah, he wasn't doing anything, and then that's when Toto kind of, like, took him under his wing.
I remember that, yeah.
And became his manager.
And he was still at the track a lot.
Yeah, I think he was a Mercedes reserve.
Was he?
I think he was the Mercedes reserve for 2019.
Okay.
But then also at the same time, like, Toto was like, okay, I'm going to manage you. Like, we're going to work through this. Yeah. Because he saw a lot of, like, promise in him. He's like, you know, this guy, he's scrappy. He, like, has a lot of talent. Like, I'm going to help him out.
Yeah.
So then he came back to F1 in 2020 with Renault, which we know is now Alpine.
And that's when Ricardo was there.
Right.
Ricardo and him, yeah. Okay.
Yep. And so then he's been with them since then.
Okay.
So he finished this past year in 8th place.
Okay.
He had 92 points, and that has been his best finish in F1
ever
to this point.
Okay. Yeah. So he had a really good year then.
Yeah. Yeah, he had
Which
a good
makes
year.
sense, though, because, I mean, they finished 4th. That's a big deal.
Yeah. I feel like, I mean, out of everyone, I feel like Esteban's a little bit underrated.
Yeah.
Because I think he does a good job, and he's fairly consistent. And he's not so much of, like, he's not really trying to, like, be in anyone's face about anything, you know? He kind of gets forgotten a lot.
I will say that. I definitely forget him.
Yeah.
Like, him and Alex.
Oh, see, I like them. I like them both.
I'm not saying I dislike them. I'm just saying, like, there are drivers that I think I'm like, okay, like, not bad, not good.
Yeah, it's not like,
you're not who I'm talking about on a daily basis.
Right.
So.
It's not like I don't have, like, alerts set up for, like,
exactly.
What's Esteban Ocon doing today.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, but okay, so a little bit about his background.
Okay.
So we said, like, does not come from a wealthy background. His dad was a mechanic, and when he wanted to take up karting and doing all of that, his dad was actually, like, building his cars and, like, working on his cars.
That's nice.
Yeah, so it was like a whole, like, family
affair.
Yeah. And to the point where, like, as he started to move up and it was costing more and different things were going on, his dad ended up selling his business. And he also ended up selling the family home to fund Esteban's karting.
Gosh.
So they were, like, all strongly, like, believed, like, okay, he is going to make it. He has the skill. He has the talent. Like, we just need to financially support. And so to the point where the family, like, was living in, like, an RV, like, motorhome type situation. And basically just going, like, all they did was, like, do his karting stuff.
Yeah.
So
I think that's an awesome commitment, though.
I think that is. Yeah. And, like, you know, it was their child's dream. And he's now, like, he's made it.
Is he an only child?
You know what? I want to say he is because I didn't know. Fact check.
editing Alex here again. He is an only child. He does not have any siblings. Okay, bye.
But I want to say he is because I didn't in my researching of all of that, I don't recall
seeing something on that. Yeah.
And then his sister did this or his, you know what I mean? So I think it was just him and his parents. And I'm sure at this point now where he's at and how successful he's been and all of that and all the money he's got, I'm sure he's house for parents and doing all this stuff for his family, which, is nice.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see and hear. He is dating an Italian model and she's also an influencer type vibe.
Okay.
Elena Berry is her name.
Well, I like that name, Elena.
Elena. Mm-hmm. She's gorgeous.
Well, they're all gorgeous.
They're all gorgeous.
Let's be real. They're all
get out of here. They're all gorgeous.
All of their spouses, significant others. What is it? What's the
term?
Yeah.
Wags.
Yes, all the wags. Yeah. They're all just level. Yeah.
But she's very she'll post a lot of inspirational content.
Oh, that's nice.
It's nice. It's nice. She seems really sweet. She's very pretty. They've been together since 2018, so they've been together for a while.
Ish.
Yeah.
Still kind of newer.
Yeah. But 2018, I'm mean.
Yeah, but I feel like he lost a year because of the pandemic.
True. So that doesn't count.
No.
I think that counts even more, honestly. If you made it through COVID, stuck inside.
I did want to kill my husband a few times.
Right.
That was hard. That was hard. Because we all like to hang out and go to dinner and all of that.
Yeah.
I think we went a solid 6 months
without seeing anybody. Literally doing nothing.
Feels like a million years ago.
That's when I constructed this gorgeousness.
Corner.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, Dustin and his dad built this bench.
The wood thing underneath?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Because this was just a strange sorry. Sidebar.
I remember you saying
this was just a strange corner.
Oh.
And I was I've always wanted
a little reading bench.
a little nook. I love that.
Yeah.
So I was I wanted to build a little something, a little bench. And his dad came over and helped Dustin build it.
Oh, yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, and then I painted all of this.
Well, you paint everything.
I know, I paint everything. Anyways.
Okay.
Again, enough about us.
Back to our podcast.
Right. Okay. So he is a really big superhero fan.
Oh,
and Spider-Man and Iron Man and so this
the Avenger kind of,
yeah, he's into that. So this year he had one of his helmets, a special helmet that he did, and it was a Spider-Man. I forget what race it was for, but it was a Spider-Man design.
Yeah.
And then he went with Mick, I think. They went to Disneyland Paris and he has pictures with Iron Man. And then he just posted something recently. They were he was doing some sim racing and he had the Iron Man mask on. So he's kind of a nerd, maybe. Okay. I don't know. Maybe.
I don't
know. Anyways.
Or he's just a guy.
But I don't know, adult guys, are they into Spider-Man like that?
Austin likes Batman.
Okay. I don't know.
He named his dog Crypto.
Which song?
His dog is a child.
Okay.
His dog
Crypto?
Yeah, it was a beagle.
What is Crypto, though, in Batman?
Batman's dog.
Really?
Yeah.
I was thinking cryptocurrency. I was wait, what? Because cryptocurrency is new.
No, Crypto is the dog's name.
No way.
Ask him when we go down for dinner.
Okay. I had no idea. I was today years old.
Oh gosh.
But okay, so we kind of talked about a little bit with how he has kind of these on track issues with his teammates.
Yes.
So Alonso was an issue back when he was with Checo. That was an issue. This was a funny story that I didn't know about, but kind of sidebar on this. So I don't know if you've ever seen the clip, and I've seen the clip before, but I didn't know what it was around. But there's a clip of Max Verstappen pushing Esteban like, because they got into some kind of track situation.
Yeah, like he gets out of the car.
And they're like in the paddock somewhere. And like Max is like super heated, very angry.
Yes,
and he's pushing Esteban. Well, so really the interesting story about this is that the FIA, like, as a punishment for Max, made him do 2 days of like public service.
Oh my gosh.
Which kind of cracks me up because it's like,
really?
Max Verstappen doing public service, like, well, and he could never.
Here's the other thing is like who came up with that? That's
I don't know.
Literally like some high school thing.
Yeah.
Like, you got in trouble, like, you're gonna clean up the
No, but it wasn't even stuff like that.
What was it?
Okay, so and this is where it's like so much BS, like literally. So they made him. Okay, hold on. And I literally put the quote here because I didn't want to mess it up. So the FIA took an educational and informative approach to this punishment, handing him 2 days of public service, the first day of which involved him being an observer to stewards at last month's Formula E race in Marrakesh. So
he just pretty much had to hang out and watch people
with the stewards during a race. God. Okay, so that was the first day.
That's public service.
Right. That's public service if you're Max Verstappen. Okay, and then the second day, it was completed on Saturday when he took part in an interactive case study with race officials at the FIA International Stewards Program event. And then, like,
this is a joke.
Yeah, it was.
Like, this has to be a little wild. Like,
That's
I'm like,
crazy.
You said that he's going to do public service. Like, yeah, I feel like he should go out and like go to like, I don't know, a children's hospital,
right?
And like go visit a kid that
or like pick up trash after a race or something,
like that,
something like that. But then, there was, I didn't put this.
How does that affect the public?
I have no idea. It doesn't.
It doesn't.
It absolutely does not. And so
that's ridiculous.
There was a quote from that. So that, like, what I just read was from like an F1, like, official, like, posted article about this whole situation. And they had a quote from Max, and it was like, Max says that it was like an enlightening experience, and like he understands why the stewards are there to like put forth rules and do whatever. Anyways, I just thought that was funny, but
AKA like they needed to do something to show face, but that is the worst thing you could have picked.
Right. But then, joke. So after that whole, I mean, I don't think Esteban, he didn't get in trouble for that because he wasn't doing anything.
Well, no, I mean,
Max was the one that was being combative.
Yeah, just hothead, you know.
But so they have like, and Max and Esteban and Pierre and like all of these younger drivers have kind of grown up through karting together.
Yes.
So Pierre and Esteban, Pierre's the driver we're about to talk about in a second, but they kind of grew up through karting together. And they were really close friends, like best friends, called each other brothers.
Yeah.
Had a great relationship.
Even when they were on separate teams, like they were always, you saw them together doing stuff.
Yeah. But then they had a falling out.
Oh.
You didn't know about the falling out?
No, I didn't.
Oh my gosh.
So
this is why I'm so excited for this team, because I'm like, what is going to happen?
Yeah.
It's either going to be
fabulous. Roses, daisies, everything.
They have made up and everything's going to be great and everything's going to be happy, sunshine, rainbows, or it's going to be a nightmare.
Yeah.
There's not a middle ground.
I'm hoping for a nightmare.
I know. Because we like the drama.
Well, and I'm a McLaren fan, so I would love to see like a chance for them to kind of
move up. Yeah, to move up in the rankings. Yeah. But so no one has really come out and said, like, what happened, what was the issue. And really the only, like, out of the two, Esteban doesn't talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
And Pierre has answered questions on it and basically gives some kind of a, like, the description of the situation was, like, they were racing together. It was friendly competition.
Mm-hmm.
Then Pierre started to do better, perform better, beat him.
Okay.
And Esteban started doing things on track to mess him up and, like, on purpose, essentially. And then he couldn't get over it. And he just didn't want to, like, so Esteban either, like, thought he was doing better, was jealous of that. And then Pierre, like, tried to say something to him about it. And Esteban was like, didn't happen, don't know anything about it. And so then after that, Pierre's like pretty much was like, I can't respect that. Like, if you're not going to own up to your issues.
Or, yeah, like what you're doing.
Right.
Yeah. Interesting.
So that's one possible thing that could have happened. Now.
Or somebody slept with somebody's girl.
Yeah. Yes.
Don't you love that I'm already reading your mind? I didn't even look down. Or the
saltier version.
And I'm gonna go with
salt on
I'm gonna go with somebody slept with somebody's girl.
I think so.
That's what I think.
So, and it's funny because Ralf Schumacher, who is Michael Schumacher's brother, who is Mick Schumacher's uncle, was quoted in an interview as saying something to the, I didn't write the whole quote down, but something to the effect of that Pierre stole Esteban's girlfriend.
Oh.
And he's never been able to get over that, and so that's why they're not friends.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like I understand people getting salty on stuff that happens on the track, but salty things happen on the track all the time. And I feel like they get over it, right? But there's something different when it's like somebody sleeps with somebody's girl.
Right. Like you can't go back from that. You can't go back from that. So
leading into Pierre.
Right. Well, just real quick on the Ralf Schumacher comment, like you start to think like, well, how does Ralf Schumacher know that? Right. But then think about Esteban and Mick are close friends. So maybe Esteban told Mick this happened. And then Mick passed it on to his uncle.
Yeah.
Who then goes on an interview and spills the dirt.
Yeah. That is true.
Huh. My theory.
I'm with that one.
Just speculating.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm with you on that one.
But yeah, so it's going to be really interesting.
Well,
yeah.
Because you can't move on from that.
You can't move on from that. And like, how do you, I don't know.
Then you get all the testosterone going on the track.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
It's going to be interesting.
I can't wait.
Okay. So Pierre.
Yes.
So Pierre.
French.
Is French.
Remember, all French team.
All French team. So he is 26 years old.
Okay.
This is going to be his 6th season in
F1.
Just like
Esteban. Okay.
Okay, so this is going to be the first time he's actually driving for a team that's not
Redbull
related.
Yeah, because he was Toro Rosso.
He was Toro Rosso. Then he was Red Bull for a hot minute.
Yeah.
And then he was AlphaTauri.
Yes.
And so now he's going to be Alpine. Okay, so and then basically his kind of history with them.
But before you say that, I think this is a good move for him.
It's definitely a good move for him.
Clearly, he's not the future of Red Bull.
No, he's
and
not
he
the future
knows
of Red
that.
Bull.
And
and he had already kind of like done what he could there. I feel like, and there wasn't going to be like he's not going to go back to the actual Red Bull team.
No, not only that, but like even Yuki, they're going to pick Yuki over him.
Yeah,
like they made that very clear in multiple races too. Right. So no, I think I'm excited. I think this is going to be a good move.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I think this is a positive change for him, and to work with a whole nother team and like just get out of that Red Bull like chokehold of the culture. I just feel like it's awful there. But okay, so he had been with the Red Bull driving program since like 2014. Okay, so he's been in that
same club.
For a long time.
Yeah.
But okay, so we already said like he was with Toro Rosso, then he moved up to Red Bull, and when he got moved up to Red Bull, he got moved up to Red Bull, and it was a pretty quick decision because Daniel had left the team.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Because Daniel did not want to be number 2.
Right. He did not want to be number 2 to Max.
Yep.
So he bounced and he was like, I'm out. And then they had Pierre on Toro Rosso, who was doing fairly decent.
It was fine. But that was his chance.
That was his chance. And so they were like, look, let's go. We're going to put you in. We're going to go with that. So he didn't drive for Red Bull like for a full year.
No. It was like half a season.
It was like half a season. I think it was after the summer break that they came back.
And they pushed him back down.
And they brought up Alex Albon.
Yep.
Which like, to me, I would love to be like a fly on the wall in that situation because he didn't do it wasn't like offensively like the worst thing that's ever happened as far as performance.
Yeah, but he's also not Checo.
But he's not Checo.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
and like he didn't do great, and he was being like, so Max would be winning races and like finishing on the podium, and then he would be like behind, like 6th, 7th, 8th.
That's what I'm saying. It's not even
in the points.
That's what I was like. Yeah.
So there was a discrepancy there, but I'm like, man, they didn't even give him a year. I feel like they gave. I guess my
but we've already talked about this. They're so cutthroat. That whole group is like, no, you either perform or you're gone.
Right. So then, like, to me, I feel like they gave Alex Albon more of a chance.
Yes.
Is my point. Like, they gave him, like, half of a season, and then they gave Alex Albon, like, a season and, like, 2 seasons, I think. Or, well, that other half.
Yeah.
And then a full another season.
Yeah, maybe. But then at that time, what was the better option?
I don't know.
I don't think there was a better option.
Yeah.
You know, I think at that point, you were kind of just stuck.
Right. And so the other thing too, like whenever he did get pushed back down to Toro Rosso, like Christian was quoted, or people would ask, you know, obviously, like, because that was crazy. And so Christian was saying that like it wasn't about his driving, and that they wanted to test out Alex because like they knew that year was like not going to be the year for them or whatever.
Yeah.
And so they were like, look, we already have seen what Pierre can do, so we wanted to test out Alex to see
if he can do more.
If like, yeah, and to
like,
basically decide between the two of them to partner Max the next year.
Yeah.
But again, as we know, he didn't ever return to Red Bull, and he's been with Toro Rosso, AlphaTauri since then. And then actually, when he went back to Toro Rosso, he scored a 2nd place with the team. Like, I think the first like race he was back.
Yeah.
So it's almost like he kind of did better in that environment.
Well, yeah, and I think it's just hard to be
pressure.
Well, and think about it.
It
would be hard to be like Max's number 2.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Yeah.
And the car set up probably exactly to what like Max's preferences, and then it's just like whatever, you know. Checo has even complained about that. Like, you know,
that they like build the car around
for Max and not based on like what Checo can do, you know?
Yeah.
So anyways, okay. So what else is going on with Pierre?
So he's got 1 race win. He won the Italian Grand Prix in 2020. Yes, in 2020.
Okay.
And then this is something too that I thought was interesting. So there's like like whoever wins the Italian Grand Prix, there's like a curse.
Okay.
Have you heard of this?
No.
Okay, so
I'm all about a curse though.
Right? It's like oh my god, it's crazy. So I think it was 2019.
Has Charles won this?
Yes. So 2019.
Oh, God.
Charles won.
Okay.
Then the next year he did not finish the race.
Okay.
So in 2020 he DNF'd.
Yeah.
Then Pierre won in 2020.
Okay.
And then in 2021 he DNFs.
Okay.
And then Daniel Ricciardo won the race in 2021, and then in 2022 he DNF'd.
Oh, so it's like always.
So it's like if you win,
you're not going to finish.
You're not finishing it next year.
Okay, that's better than like a full curse of like your whole career.
Like you die. No, I mean that's terrible. That was really dark. Sorry.
No, but
yeah,
you know.
No, it's like a career-ending curse type thing. No, so it's just like you just don't finish that race the next year.
Huh.
And then there's another one too, which this will be interesting to see. But, and I can't remember how many years it goes back, and I don't remember who was what, but there's also something similar to that where like whoever wins the first Grand Prix ends up finishing 2nd in the Drivers' Championship. So like Charles won the first Grand Prix in 2022, and he ended up 2nd. And then last year, Lewis won. In 2021, Lewis won the first Grand Prix.
And he was 2nd behind Max.
I
know. So then, has Max ever come in 2nd? I thought Max came in 2nd behind Lewis one year. Maybe not.
I don't think so, because I think when it was right. So then the year before that, Bottas won the first Grand Prix.
Oh, and he would have finished 2nd behind Lewis.
Yes, finished 2nd behind Lewis.
That's
so
crazy.
We'll be on the lookout for that.
Like,
who wins.
That's so crazy.
Please let me try.
Don't, sorry.
We're going to manifest a Max win.
We're going to manifest a Max win, yeah.
For the first Grand Prix.
Yeah. We'll take second. That's fine.
I'm just a moment of silence for that, please. We'll light a candle later. But okay.
So back to Pierre.
Moving on to his personal life. So his family has been involved in motorsports. Mm-hmm. His grandmother was like into karting and his grandfather was into karting.
That's kind of cool.
I know. I'm like, I wish, like, I would love to have a grandmother that was like into karting.
I could just see this old lady flying around the track.
I mean, obviously like, she was like younger.
I know.
In my mind, though, I'm picturing like a grandmother.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I think it's cool. But okay, so he is best friends with Charles. Best friends.
Pierre. Yeah. Oh, Pierre. Did you see they went to the NBA game?
Yes, and I wanted to talk about that. Yeah. Yes. So they went to the NBA game.
And they like went to like their practice thing.
Yes.
And yeah.
They were like with Tony Parker. Like it was the Chicago Bulls.
Yes.
And Esteban was there.
I did see that. But Esteban wasn't there the whole time.
He wasn't there the whole time.
Like, Pierre and Charles were the only ones that did like all the extra stuff. Yeah.
And they were hanging out with them. And then
Esteban was at the game.
Yes. But did you notice the placement of where they were sitting?
No.
At the game?
No.
So Charles was in the middle.
Okay.
And then Pierre on one side and then Esteban on the other side. So
you think this is like manifesting how the season's gonna go?
No, I think it's like Pierre, like they're teammates, but he's like, I don't want to sit next to him. I want to sit next to Charles because Charles is my bestie.
Well, not only that, and you slept with my girl.
Right. There's still beef there, I promise you.
Oh, absolutely. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah. I noticed it right away. That's going in the in my little thing. Yeah.
Insta post.
In my Watch Insta out for post. That. That'll be a visual aid for everyone that missed it.
Yeah.
I have it for you. Don't worry. I screenshotted it. It's not like it went anywhere, but anyways. So Pierre is like super active on social media.
I have noticed that. I'm not even into a social media person, and I always
see of the grid. I feel like okay. So behind, like I saw some behind the scenes video or something, and he's sitting at this desk, and he has like probably like 7 cell phones in front of him, and he's just doing this.
Oh my God.
People are like, what are you doing? And he's like, so he likes like every post that he gets tagged in or anything. Like he goes at like not every single one, but a huge majority. Yeah. He will like all these different posts. Mm-hmm. And so to the point where he has personal merch that like he made for his like merch store of Pierre Gasssslyyy that says liked by Pierre Gasssslyyy, like on the shirt. And that's the whole shirt. It's like a white shirt in black lettering, liked by Pierre Gasssslyyy.
Oh gosh, that's hilarious.
But okay, so he currently is dating a Portuguese model.
Okay.
Whose name is, I'm just going to call her Kika because that's what she goes by. Kika Gomez.
Sounds
but like... it's like Francesca Kika Gomez. So interesting about her. She's actually part of the same modeling agency that Luisa, who's Lando's ex.
Well, we don't know if she's Lando's ex right now.
Right.
I mean, she
Lando's
is, but
maybe
she
ex.
Isn't. Yeah. She might on the DL still be with him.
Right. But they're from the same modeling agency, which I thought was interesting.
So they probably know each other.
Oh, they definitely know each other. Like I've seen, like Luisa had posted something and Kika's like in the picture with like all these modeling girls.
Yeah.
But okay, so there's a theory that I kind of subscribe to.
Oh gosh.
There's a lot. We're doing a lot of speculating in this episode.
Let me hear it.
Okay. So the theory is that this relationship between Kika and Pierre is a PR relationship.
Oh.
And let me tell you why. And let me tell you why I subscribe to this. So Pierre kind of has like this playboy persona.
Oh, I think it's his look, his vibe.
He's liking all these people's posts. He's doing this. Like he kind of was like casually dating a bunch of people and like whatever.
Yeah.
He's got this vibe, which it's like,
Fine. Whatever.
Hey, you're 26 years old. You're an F1 driver.
Yeah.
Live your best life.
Yeah.
I'm not going to fault him for that.
Yeah.
Anyways, but so whenever this relationship didn't really like materialize until he was making that move from AlphaTauri to Alpine.
Okay. So you just think he needed some arm candy?
No, not so much the arm candy. I think he needed more of the because here's the other thing. Here's the other part of this. Yeah, like I think a lot of people were kind of attributing his because he didn't do great this past year, but AlphaTauri as a team did awful.
Yeah.
So I don't think it was a Pierre thing. Yeah. But I think a lot of people were saying, well, like, is his driving like slipping? Yeah. Because he's like partying or doing whatever and like, has this whole Playboy life.
He needed someone to ground him.
Yeah, he needed some stability.
Yes. Okay.
And so, that's to me is the reason why I feel like this is a PR relationship. Now,
but even if it is, I think that's great. Sometimes everybody needs that.
Yeah. And it serves the purpose, you know?
Yeah.
And I think it's too like a beneficial situation for both parties. Mm-hmm. Right? Okay, so this is why these are some of the reasons why I feel like it could be a PR relationship. So the first time they were seen together, it was like at some kind of event and like he had his PR person, like his marketing manager or whatever with him. Mm-hmm. She's this pretty model. Her dad actually works with McLaren or like involved in McLaren at some point. Anyways, she's trying to get more popular. She's trying to get more Instagram followers.
7 octaves.
Huh?
Do you feel like they've gone up like 7 octaves?
Oh, I know. If we have to record this again, because our husbands downstairs are watching a football game and they are literally screaming.
Sorry, I just was listening to. I'm like, they've gone up seriously 7 octaves.
I feel like they're sitting on the stairs too.
I know. Like at one point, I heard Austin yelling, and my husband doesn't talk very loud. It's pretty quiet. Anyways, okay, let's get through this.
Back to Pierre.
We're real damn close. I feel like.
I know. Yeah, we're almost done.
Yeah.
So, okay, they were with the social media people, like the PR managers, whatever. Now, also, Pierre has basically a recipe for how he dates a girl. Almost.
Oh God!
And so
he's one of those guys.
Yeah. So he his last girlfriend.
A checklist. He's the checklist guy. Yes. Oh God.
And so the last girlfriend, the first time they did any kind of public outing or whatever, they went to, it was like a Paris team soccer game thing. Brings this Kika girl to the same team's game, whatever. Then they went dune buggy driving in Dubai in the sand desert, and he did that with the last girl. Oh, I ran into the microphone.
Well, and Charles was there for that too.
Yeah. So anyway, they're doing a lot of the same activities, but maybe he just likes those activities.
Maybe, and maybe they just like each other.
We're just speculating.
They're new, and
so
when it's a new relationship, you tend to kind of do a little bit things all out or posting more photos. I think about it. I was when I was first dating Austin, I have a ton of photos, and even I still have a lot. But now, I look now that we're married, I'm I mean, we have a lot of photos, but I just don't feel the need as much anymore to post all these photos. Yeah,
Yeah. So
maybe it's just fresh and new.
Maybe it is,
or maybe it's PR.
Regardless, I don't care if it's a PR relationship because I am. Loving the content. I'm loving the content. I think she's gorgeous. I think they're great together. They look cute. They look happy. They're having a good time, like you said. Yeah. Having a good time.
Why not?
So maybe it's going to be a typical rom-com script of. So let's say it is a PR relationship,
and he gets him through the season, or she gets him through the season. Right. Then the question is, does she stay with him?
Or do they really fall in love? Are they gonna maybe it's gonna be cute.
Maybe.
I don't know. But again,
I do think love grows over time. I don't think you have to be madly in love with someone from the get-go.
Right. But, so, I mean, that's just all a speculation of it could totally be like a real relationship. Oh, but there's also another piece I forgot.
But then Pierre could also get himself in trouble in DMing a girl asking if they want to come over and have McDonald's.
Right. There is this girl who is this, like, she's a Turkish, like, F1 fan chick. Okay.
And I think I remember you telling me about this.
Did I send you something with her? Okay, so the rumor is that Pierre has been legit dating this girl.
Yeah.
For like 2 years. But like, and then I'm like, if I'm that girl and that's really true, I'd be like kind of pissed. 'Cause it's like, okay, what's wrong with
hell
me?
Yeah. Well, yeah. And
why can't you bring me out to the public?
Yeah. Like,
because like I don't have followers, or like
maybe it's like the Lando situation where maybe he doesn't want to do it.
Maybe he's doing it to protect her.
Maybe
he's more like gallant than we thought.
I don't know. He doesn't give off those vibes.
He doesn't give off gallant vibes.
No, not at all.
I like Pierre. I do.
I'm not saying I dislike him, but I'm just saying, like, if you're asking me if he gives off those vibes, I can tell you now.
Yeah. No, I would agree with that. I would actually agree with that. Even though
Lando gives off way more of that than Pierre does.
Lando just gives me derpy. But I love him for it.
God.
But,
oh gosh. Okay.
Anyway, so that's Pierre. And that's Esteban, and that's Alpine. I will wait real quick.
And the Frenchies.
That's
what we're gonna name them. The Frenchies.
Frenchies. That'll be their little subtitle. No, one last thing about Pierre. I'm interested to see what his fashion sense is.
Yeah, I do like it. It's pretty clean and simple. Yeah,
but remember, he's always been wearing AlphaTauri.
Oh, yeah.
Because he had to wear the AlphaTauri merch.
That's right.
So he might throw you a left-hander, like
Let's
totally
hope he's
off.
Not Lewis.
He might be. We don't know.
Let's just hope not.
I don't think he is. I don't think
not.
he is. Ugh. Because even like, so when he was at that NBA thing the other day, I think he was wearing like khakis and like.
Yeah, it was just, he's very like simple.
Yeah.
Nothing flashy.
Not
very
colorful,
neutral.
not in your face.
Yeah, like very neutral.
So, but I will be interested to see like, what does he wear?
Yeah.
On like walking into the paddock.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. There's not going to be.
Maybe
assumably it's not going to be
like the next Ricardo coming in on a horse.
Oh my gosh. I don't think so.
No. I don't
see that French. For him. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I feel like the French don't do that.
Yeah, no. No.
Maybe with a croissant in hand.
I'm too cool for that. I can't do any accents. Don't ask me. But okay. So that's it.
Yeah. So that was Alpine.
Okay. Yeah.
Our French team.
Yeah.
We'll see if they bring out the pink.
Right. We'll see if they bring out the pink. We'll see if they have spicy drama between Estie and Pierre.
Oh, I can't wait for that. We do need to find out like the real truth on who slept with who.
I know. I did try to research more of that, but like that's
maybe it will come out as the season goes on.
Maybe it'll be on Drive to Survive.
Maybe. Oh, yes. Salty.
We need a whole episode on it.
All right.
But okay. So
you're gonna give us our sign off?
Yeah. So this has been Queens of the Paddock, an F1 podcast.
You are.
I am Alex.
I'm Courtney.
And you can listen to our podcast anywhere that you listen to your podcasts. And
Apple Podcast,
Spotify, iHeartRadio,
YouTube. Yeah.
Spotify with video.
Comment, like, subscribe,
rate, share with your friends,
resubscribe.
Yes. Leave us a comment.
Tell us what you think.
Right.
Now you know our names.
Yes.
You can call us out by name instead of blonde versus brunette.
Right. And we are on Instagram at Queens of the Paddock.
Yeah. All right. Well,
and that's it. Oh, what was our thing?
I was going to say, I have to do my ending.
Oh my God, you do.
So I'm going to end this with lights out and away we go.
Bye.
Peace. I was about to be like, you're about to cut me off.